While the simplest way to explain migration is that it's the process of moving entries in your journal by rewriting them somewhere else, there's actually a lot more to it than that. Yes, migration does involve rewriting things, but it also includes reflecting on all the things we might transfer to consider the things we actually will transfer. When you use your bullet journal consistently, you're gonna write a bunch of stuff down. We love that. Brains are made for having ideas, not for holding them, so we're going to give all of that information to our bullet journals. But not everything we write down in our bullet journal, whether that be a task, an event, or a note, is actually something that's taking us closer to where we want to go. Rather than painstakingly consider each and every potential entry to our bullet journal before we write it down, migration is the process where we go through all of those entries and consider whether we want to take them forward. We're looking through our entries to consider what is worth our time and energy, or what is worth paying attention to. Those are the things we're going to transfer. As part of this reflective process, we can use what's called the migration filter, where it's effectively a series of questions we can ask ourselves to consider whether something is worthy of transfer. The 3 questions that the bullet journal method gives us are: is this vital? Does this matter? And are there any consequences for not keeping this entry? If the answer to any of those is yes, then we can keep it. It's going to get transferred. Or if the answer to all of those is no, then it's a distraction and we can scrap it. Once we've done that reflection though, and we know what's being kept or what's being scrapped, then we can transfer things. So migration involves 1, reflecting on our journal entries, and then 2, transferring the ones we decide to keep. But one of the biggest complaints about the process is that rewriting things takes time. This is often one of the things that people let hold them back from getting into bullet journaling. Why use an analog system? Why not just use a digital system where I can roll things over or copy and paste? But the friction that we experience with rewriting things is actually a good thing here. It really helps the migration process, because if something isn't worth rewriting, then it's probably not really worth doing. Only the things that are vital or that matter to us or that are meaningful in some way are going to be the ones that we're going to want to take the time to rewrite. So if we don't want to take the time to rewrite it, is it really that important? Which highlights why migration matters. Migration gets us to let go of things that aren't necessary or things that are distractions so that we can dedicate that time to more meaningful things. It is better for our productivity to not do something that was unimportant so that we can do things that are important. Stephen Covey says that if the ladder is not leaning against the right wall, every step we take just gets us to the wrong place faster. Migration helps us put the ladder in the right place. But we actually have multiple types of migration. Migration happens at different points in our bullet journal and gets us to look at different aspects of it. So we have daily migration, when bringing tasks into our daily logs at the start of a new day. We've got weekly migration, when setting up for a new week. Monthly migration, when setting up for a new month. And yearly or new journal migration, when starting a new journal. New journal migration happens for most of us, maybe 1 to 4 times a year, depending on how many journals you use in a year. But the types that happen a lot more often are daily and weekly. How do we actually do those though? What is the step-by-step process for doing these migrations? In this video here, we go into more depth with weekly migration and how you can use it to reclaim your time. So click or tap on that one and I'll see you over there.